Alvin Toffler once said, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and ignorance. Good afternoon. It is the 12th day of July 2022 and the soft launching of our 21st century classroom in the division of Angeles City. To formally start this day's event, may I request everybody to please all stand for the opening prayer to be led by Education Program Supervisor in Filipino, Ma'am Rochelle Steve.
Encouraging collaboration, expecting and rewarding critical thinking, and teaching children not only how to communicate, but also the power of effective communication. These are skills students need to develop in order to thrive in today's and tomorrow's dynamic workplace. May this 21st century classroom be an effective way of giving our students the skills they need to succeed in this new world and helping them grow the confidence to practice those skills, leading to a future generation which is literate in technology. Anoint this project, ideas, and energy so that even our smallest accomplishment may bring you greater glory. May the work that we do and the way we do it bring faith, joy, and a smile to all that come along our way. This is our prayer in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
You may now be seated. To our competent and innovative Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Maria Irene Camallo. Committed and supportive Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Fernandina Tivachenko. The diligent heads of the offices, SBOD Chief Dr. Edgar L. Managat, and OIC CID Chief Dr. Amanda Yuto. Distinguished resource speakers, Dr. Emily Sarmiento and Sir Avenir Mendoza. Public schools district supervisors and education program supervisors who will be actively participating in today's soft launching. A meaningful and productive afternoon to all of you. The jobs of educators are ever changing. Let me take you back to your school days. How did you acquire knowledge? Was it through a textbook? Or perhaps through a PowerPoint? Or even through a chalkboard? Let us dig a little deeper and find those experiences that really stood out in your learning experiences. Was that a time when you got a chance to dissect a frog in biology? Or maybe when you got a chance to hear from an expert in the field? These are unique experiences that stand out because they appeal to our sense of sight, touch, and sound, and that's what really nurtures our learning. Well, fast forwarding today, everything that we know is available with a click of a button. Most of us present in this room who have been around for a while remember when we struggled for access to technology. We all wanted more access to innovative ways to engage students. Those days are here when kids have in their pockets powerful devices that can have instant access to the knowledge of the world and communicate virtually with anyone instantaneously. So the old content delivery model is no longer relevant in the world of instant access to information. The students' learning needs are very different today from what they were before. That is why this launching of the 21st century classroom is indeed timely. At this juncture, it is my honor and pride to introduce to you a leader who is innovative and a woman who welcomes change as long as it benefits the learners. Our school's division superintendent, Dr. Maria Irene Vivan, for her welcome.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Amy. I was listening to you intently. Thank you to our Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Fernandina Piochenko, to our two division chiefs, Dr. Edgar Lagnanabat, Dr. Amando Sibuto, to our education program supervisors, public schools district supervisors, and of course to our division creative team who are here with us, our IT officer, Sir Adelir Mendoza, and our PEO, awardees
Deputy.
Deputy Sir Noel Negative, one of the gems of SDO analysts. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Andito rin po ang ating SEPS and Division Information Officer, Ma'am Ana Marie Carmen Romero. Magandang hapon po. It was in 2018 when the then Undersecretary Yusek Alain Pasqua introduced to us the concept of the 21st century classroom in one of our trainings somewhere in Manila. So he showed to us a PowerPoint presentation, or I do not know what sort of media was that, wherein the 21st century classroom was described to the fullest. Being a teacher by heart, I felt the excitement of being a teacher in that 21st century classroom. Imagine having the information that we need with just a click of the mouse, and all the needed information that we need search is right there on our fingertips. And when I was listening to Ma'am Amy a while ago, I also went back to memory lane very fast, especially that I visited the exhibit of Angeles City National High School this morning, wherein instructional materials prepared by the teachers as well as the outputs of the students were displayed. So when I was with the Assistant Schools Division Superintendent of Balanga City, I invited her to join me in that in the viewing of the exhibit. We also remembered our time as learners, especially when we went to the exhibit of the TLT department. I know most of you will be able to relate, no? Yung mga different types of speeches. Naalala niyo yun? Change speech, parable speech, diba? Oo, speech. Binibili pa tayo ng mga patches na gano'n, no? Tapos iba-ibang sinulit, no? And, yes, tapos ini-scrapbook pa natin yan, no? At saka, during the test, pa-identify ng teacher, what type of speech is this, no? So, ayun, sabi ko, hey ma, sabi ko, di ba ginawa natin ito nung elementary, no? Tapos yung, when we went to the exhibits of the other subject areas, ESP, Filipino, English, math, we remembered those times when we were educated by those same items. But the beauty of the exhibit at ACMHS was the fact that it blended the old items with digital learning. No? So, meron na siyang mga, ang tawag dito, Sir Premier? LED TV, OLED monitors, no? Showcasing the video lessons prepared by the teachers, no? And I was telling the ASDS, sabi ko, ma'am, who are the more fortunate learners? The learners during our time, tayo ba? Or the learners in these modern times? No? Again, I still remember when I was in grade 6 and our teacher asked us to research about the first astronauts who landed in the moon. We do not have an encyclopedia at that time. You will know that a family is rich if that family has a complete set of encyclopedia at home. Being a book lover, I was mesmerized because my mother said, o tara na, punta na ka auntie mo, mag-research ka ka rin. Kasi binukulo ko siya, encyclopedia, kaya ka tumutan mo. So we went to Tao. No? Nagpunta ko kami sa Tao na ni mother, just for me to research about the first man who landed in the moon. No? So I was mesmerized, no? Wow! Tapos kung inutay ko yung part ng nandun, talagang I avidly read it. But now, the encyclopedias are obsolete. Ang no? Google mo lang yan, no? Malalaman na natin lahat. So, I will throw the question to you, my dear supervisors. Who are the more fortunate learners? Tayo ba? O the modern learners? No? Well, is the question subjective or objective? So now, we are launching the 21st century classroom right here at SDO University. No? I forgot to mention, I saw Madam SDS Leilani Cunanan a while ago. No? This is her brainchild. Together perhaps, no? With Doc Ems, Sir Avenir, and Sir Noel. No?
Lourdes.
And also Madam ASDS Lourdes de la Cruz. Yan. Because pandemic had affected us, no? This was put on hold. But we always trust in God's timing. This is the right time for us to launch the 21st century classroom because the new Death and Order was already released, stating that full operationalization of in-person classes will be sometime in November. So our learners will benefit from this 21st century classroom. They will be able to traverse the so-called digital highway. They will be given a chance to have information right there and knowledge, right there on their fingertips. This is the right time. This is the day that the Lord has made, for our learners to be digital learners, to be critical thinkers, just like the prayer of Ma'am Rochella a while ago, and 21st century thinkers. Manipulative kasi ang learning na yan. No? So, congratulations to SDO Angeles City, no? To the CID team, no? Doc Ems. I know Ma'am SBS Lani Kunanan and Madam ASBS De La Cruz will be very happy because their dream is now turning into a reality. So we will be instruments so that our learners will be able to benefit from all this modern technology. So congratulations again to all the proponents of the 21st century classroom, and may God always bless us, no, in our journey to digital literacy and 21st century teaching and learning. Thank you.
Thank you for gracing us with your precious time and words of wisdom, Dr. Tamayo. Moving forward with the lecture proper, we shall now have the epitome of beauty and brains. Our education program supervisor is LRMDS, Dr. Emily F. Sarmiento, for the presentation of the background of necessary sector classroom. Dr. Emily, take it away.
Thank you, ma'am.
A pleasant afternoon to everyone present here today, especially to our leaders right in front of us, headed by Dr. Irene Tamayo and Madam Janice, and also our teachers, Doc Mandy and Doc Edward. To everyone, may panahon po. Okay po. So first, let me start by giving you the objectives. I'm giving you the objectives of this activity or of this project. First, to orient participants on the various equipment in the 21st century classroom. Second, support professional learning communities that enable educators to collaborate, share best practices, and integrate 21st century skills in classroom practice. And third, create learning practices, human support, and physical environments that will support the teaching and learning of 21st century skill outcomes through access to the open learning space. Although right now we still do not have the open learning space, but sooner, I believe, for scientific research, discussion, and collaboration with free access to resources and interactive content. So later, we shall be seeing how this Starbucks kiosk can be used by our teachers and also our learners. Okay. Now, after this activity there are already lined up other lined up activities. So today's July 12, we have the soft launching of this 21st century classroom. On July 14, we shall have another July 14 presentation of the background. So that is July 14 onwards. The same will be done to our school heads and chosen participants or teachers. Okay. So this is the schedule, okay, for July 14. So you can see for the school, the time, from 9 to 11, ayan po yung mga schedule, and then 2 to 4. And then also on July 15, another group, another batch, from 9 to 11, and also 2 to 4, another batch. By July 21 and 22, there are also scheduled participants who will take part and do hands-on activities here in our 21st century classroom. So I'd like to give a brief background of the establishment of SDO Manila City's 21st century classroom. As mentioned, as mentioned by Ma'am SDS a while back, Ma'am Dr. Irene Tamayo, this project is a brainchild of our former schools division superintendent, Madam Lani Cunanan, who had a grand vision in making the schools and the division in general highly engaged in technology, as reflected in her education technology plan. Realizing the importance of ICT integration in teaching and learning, Madam Lani chose 5 schools to implement the plan. So there was Huayan Elementary School, Pineda, Gutierrez Elementary School, Northville 15 IS, BVRHS, and CMRICTHS were provided with some equipment. Also, part of Madam Lani's plan was to have a 21st century classroom similar to that of EOST. So, in 2017, the CID team and other non-teaching personnel in this division, as well as the principals of the pilot schools, experience hands-on activities in the 21st century classroom of the DOST. After the worthy activity, a series of planning was done by our SDS together with Dr. Lourdes de la Cruz and our DESI chief, who was tasked to look into the curriculum aspects. And Mr. Avenir Mendoza, our IT officer, who was tasked to take charge of the infrastructure, together with Mr. Noel Vitali. Our former mayor, Mayor Edmani Tuan, supported the plan and immediately approved the proposal. The budget for the procurement of gadgets and equipment and other resources was taken from the ICT funds of SEF. While some gadgets and equipment have already been purchased, along the way, there were unprecedented challenges, again as mentioned by Dr. Tamayo a while back, that stopped the implementation of the plan. There was a failure of bidding for our furniture, and of course, the COVID-19 pandemic, which made our classroom empty, or classrooms empty. But thank God, we have visionary leaders in our division, headed by our SDS, Madam Irene Tamayo, who believes that despite the insufficiency of the infrastructure, this room for which it was envisioned can deliver teaching and learning with what it has. It may not be resembling the model 21st century classroom, but let's believe that sooner it will be. What used to be an empty room is now turned into an interactive room which our learners and teachers can use. Thank you po, Madam Irene, Madam Dines, for the inspiration. And as our gesture of appreciation and gratefulness, how about a warm round of applause to all the people in this establishment and transformation of this world. Congratulations for all of us. Okay, so let me now present to you all the framework of 21st century education. I'm sure everyone knows this already, pero para meron din po tayong pass on sa ating mga kasama. Now, to ensure 21st century readiness for every student, 21st century standards assessments, curriculum, instruction, professional development, and learning environments must be aligned to produce 21st century students. So, P21, or Partnership for the 21st Century Learning, realizes the power and the promise of the 21st century learning for every learner, or for every learner. So it is important, therefore, to develop the 21st century learning skills of every student. in these four aspects. So we have communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So, yun po, no? So, we have one of those are our learner. In the Philippines, the K-12 basic education curriculum aims to produce a holistically developed Filipino with 21st century skills. And what are these skills? We have collaboration, critical thinking, communication, and creativity. Okay, po. So we have the one and one of the Philippines or our learners who should benefit from what we're doing. And of course, with our 21st century skills also as teachers, we can pass on to our learners. So yan po, you're familiar with this. Okay. So a learner highly skilled in information and media, learning and innovation, and life and career. That is what we aim for under the K-12 curriculum. Now, to support the need for 21st century in the context of K-12 curriculum, the Science Education Institute of the DOST initiated the project ARISE, which is Access to Resources and Innovations in Science Education. So ARISE, as you can see, was ecosystem of ARISE is a 21st century ecosystem of learning environments, education, information, and communications technology, resources, and innovations that will serve as the support system to the K-12 curriculum, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. As a 21st century support system, there are 5 critical areas to ensure student mastery of the 21st century skills. So we have standards, assessment of skills, curriculum and instruction, professional development, and learning environments that must be aligned to produce a support system that produces 21st century outcomes for today's students. Okay, so as an infrastructure and technical support, it creates practices, provides technical and physical learning environments that will support the teaching and learning of the 21st century skill. As human resource development ARISE exposes and develops competence in the use, design, and development of instructional materials based on education and other innovative technologies and standards. As technology access and development ARISE ensures access to latest developments, quality teaching and learning tools and resources in education technology, and to support relevant research and development. Now, as advocacy and promotion ARISE promotes the adoption of 21st century learning environments and use of appropriate and innovative education, information, and communications technologies. With this commitment, ARISE as a 21st century learning environment established a 21st century model classroom. Okay? So, tingnan po natin yung connection, ano po? So, what is a 21st century classroom? So, it says here, a 21st century classroom is designed around the curriculum. The curriculum is designed around the student. In today's successfully designed classroom, everything starts with the student, thus making it student-centric to promote active and adaptive and collaborative learning. Okay, so in the 21st century classroom, teachers are facilitators of student learning and creators of productive classroom environments in which students can develop the skills they need at present or in future. So teacher alongside students should be equipped with necessary skills to meet the challenges of a more engaging and effective modern teaching, thus making it student-centric to promote active, adaptive, and collaborative learning. Now, we know that the way we were taught, we cannot teach the children today the way we were taught. They're not going to be engaged. Iba po kasi yung ating kung paano tayo naturuan. So if they cannot learn the way we teach, then we have to teach the way they learn. No? Okay. So the 21st century classroom fosters collaboration, communication, critical thinking, self-direction, global awareness, information literacy, technology, and integration. So these should be networked. They should be networked, they should be interactive, and they should also be engaging. The DOSTCI, or Science Education Institute Model 21st Century Classroom, is a learning environment designed to provide 21st century concepts and interior designs for group, team, and individual learning. So later po you will be seeing what a 21st century classroom looks like. Our room for now may not be resembling not yet. for now, not yet, but I know eventually we will be able to accomplish that as well. So it promotes the four common core. Again, we go back to collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. So the DOST-SEI model, 21st century classroom, is a learning environment designed to expose teachers, learners, and stakeholders to new emerging and future technologies and resources. Okay, so it also enables teachers to learn integrative, educational, and instructional technologies. It also allows access to quality learning tools, technologies, and resources. It also features SEI researches, innovations, and projects on science and mathematics education. Mamaya po, tuturuan tayo ni Sir Dennis. Ito pong ating Starbucks, napakarami po ang mga pwede natin i-research dito. Makagulala po nga, especially those, even teachers who are studying can also access this and be able to use the materials as well po. So the 21st century classroom physical layout, so yung physical layout mo niya, no? It should be student-centered as opposed to teacher-centered. That was 20th century, the way we were taught. And then furniture arranged in small groupings that allow for easy discussion and collaboration. Teacher facilitates learning throughout the room. So ayan po yung example, ano po, for a dynamic learning environment. Furnitures are designed for mobility to promote collaborative learning in the classroom. So, pwede pong pagdikitin, no po? So, the 21st century classroom furniture, okay? So, in the moment, the key is mobility. Changes and adapts easily and quickly, flexible and easy to maneuver. Modular tables and desks are easy to push together quickly for large group collaborations or separate for individual reflection. Desks and chairs on wheels and easy to move to allow for small group discussions or large group meetings and reporting. So, yan. Yan po, no? So, the classroom furniture has the functionality to be configured in individual. So right now, wala na po tayo mga tables. So ayan po yung ideal. So it can be configured in individual, paired, or small groups. Thus, tables are geometrically shaped with drawers, and roller casters. Colored chairs are stackable, ergonomic, and lightweight for mobility and flexibility. So yun po yung ideal mga chairs or furniture. Technology allows students to interact with other learners around the globe, okay, through social networks, web cameras, and video conferencing systems, and view other students' work from around the world. So not just locally, but globally. So students can talk to real experts, that should be experts po, no? By webcam or watch a streamlined news event as they are happening. Allow students to pursue own inquiry-based projects and be accountable on their own learning. Yan, so ayan po. It supports passive and active learning, lesson plans or activity plans. It eases the transition from lecture style to learner-led and teacher-guided lessons. The classroom makes use of different digital audio and visual presentation technologies, provides students with computer, tablets, or laptops to support the student need to connect with data and other resources. Nakita ko po yung proposal ni Sir Lee at na-approve po yun, no? Nakita ko yung budget, sir, nasa 20 million plus po yung supposed to be na gagamitin dito po. 28 million. Kasi po, dapat meron yung mga furniture na po, no, So what are the 21st century classroom attributes? Student-centric. In this classroom, students play an active role in their learning and teachers serve as mere guides only. Computing devices. So computers are readily available in modern classrooms since they are essential tools for 21st century students and replace the utilities of pen and paper. Active learning. In modern classrooms, students are actively engaged in what they learn. Adaptive learning. The modern approach of adaptive learning gives students the freedom to learn at their own pace and in the way they are most comfortable with. So it is also an invitational environment. The classroom should not be cramped or overcrowded. Modern classrooms should have the basic material required for teaching, such as interactive whiteboards and LCD projectors. The BYOD or bring your own device approach can also be adopted. Okay. Number 6, students understand and follow the rules and procedures. The learning environment is carefully planned and well organized. There's mutual respect. Teachers should encourage students to speak with confidence and value their opinions. Students also take responsibility of their learning. As students are encouraged to actively participate in their own learning, they become responsible for their learning. Performance-based assessments. Regular performance-based assessments are carried out by teachers through various methods which are not restricted to test. Collaborative learning. Technology plays a big role in developing all of these characteristics for modern classrooms. These classrooms enhance the learning experience and better prepare students for higher education and workplace. Ayan. So let's see some pictures po of learners engaged in, actively engaged in learning. Ayan po. Okay, so Open Resource Center. So let's go to the DOST-SEI Open Resource Center. When we say ORC or Open Resource Center, this is an open learning space set to promote an atmosphere of academic and scientific research where stakeholders could have free access to resources and interactive content and features, SEI innovations, projects, researches, and training resources on science and mathematics, education, such as, okay, ayan po, ASTHR, DP, DOST Scholars, Researches, and or Studies, DOST Courseware, SIM, PLC, Innovative Practices, Enrichment Materials, or Ciencia Habilidad, SAI, Researches and Publications, STAR, or Lesson Exemplars, HOTS, Inquiry-Based Lesson Implementation, DOST, and other science-related publication. Okay. So a space for ages 4 to 74 to conduct research, small group meeting, collaborative activities. Yan. Okay, adjacent to the 21st century classroom is SDI's Open Resource Center. It's a 25 square meters open learning space set to promote an atmosphere of academic and scientific research, discussion, and collaboration where stakeholders would have free access to resources and interactive content. Ito pa lamang po yung ating na-enjoy, but soon we will have our Open Resource Center po doon sa kabila. Yun po, kabilang room, yun po yung naka-design para dito. Okay, so we now go to 21st century classroom and open learning space designs. Okay, so yan po. Ito po ay in South Korea. They also, even the presence of our PSDSS po is really very important as well so that they can also encourage their schools. Baka po merong schools sa under your clusters na pwede rin po na mag-put up ng 21st century classroom. And we know that there are a lot of stakeholders who are willing to take part po. No? Okay po, so this is from South Korea. This is in Singapore. Ayan, so yan naman po Singapore, no? Ito po ay sa Japan. Actually, mayroon po tayo sa Pilipinas, pero ito pong material na to ay galing din po sa DOST. Kaya hindi ko na po pinalitan. Pero meron po tayo sa Pilipinas, every time there is launching for 21st century classroom, DOST personnel and officials are also being invited. So ito po ay, as I had said, yung material galing po sa DOST. So this is in Japan. This is in Finland. Kaya po pala maganda rin, no? Yung mga outputs, okay, mga learners or products ng education systems sa mga bansa. Okay, so this is 21st century classroom design implementation. Ayan po. So kung mag-put up po tayo, no? Ayan po. Yan. Ganda, no? Colorful. Ayan po. Ayan po. Yan, yung mga suggested furniture po, no? Yung technology setup. So we have sample designs of open learning space. Ito po sana yung sa kabila, no? Open learning space po. Okay. So, the science of effective learning spaces and for daytime light exposure can boost learning. One study of 21,000 US elementary students, ayan, based on study po ito, no, showed that over one school year, kids who were exposed to more sunlight during the school day displayed 26% higher reading outcomes on kids and 20% higher math outcomes than kids in less sunny classrooms. Yan, mga kids. Okay, daytime blue light exposure may have a powerful effect on adolescents in particular. So, kailangan ko pala na-expose sila. Bawal ang kortina. Bawal ang kortina. So, yan po, no? Research po to. Another, interaction with the natural environment is good for learning. So many studies have demonstrated the power of the natural environment, whether real or simulated in video games, on kids' learning and well-being. One study of over 10,000 fifth grade students showed that kids in schools with unrestricted views of nature tested higher in reading, ayan po, reading na naman ito ng grades, in math and language arts than students in schools with urban views or no views at all. Close to nature po. Okay. What about the seating arrangement? In a classic study, researchers tested 3 seating models with different levels of independent versus interactive arrangements. They showed that elementary school students were least on task when desks were arranged in rows. Oo, ma'am. Better on task when arranged in clusters and best on task when in semicircle. Okay. So yan po, no? Kaya napaka-importante po, no? Environment. Oo. During our time, we were classified according to rows. Row 1, row 2, row 3, and then yung row 4, mga bokor po yung sa row 4, ano? Okay, so seating arrangement. Another study, however, suggests that the best arrangement should be determined by matching it with the task at hand. More interactive tasks benefit more from interactive arrangements, semicircle and clusters, and independent tasks from independent arrangements or roles. So this is DOST-SEI 21st Century Model Classroom, and I hope that we were able to learn something from the presentation and be able to also encourage our schools to have this 21st century classroom. Maraming po salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Ayun po, sir. Ano na po pasabog po kay Sir Lee?
Thank you so much, Dr. Emily. I know for a fact that we have learned a lot from Dr. Emily's lecture. Allow me to sum up some of the highlights of the discussion. While educational approaches used to subscribe to a one-size-fits-all philosophy, observation, testing, and psychology revealed by degrees a different picture over the last few decades. Different students learn in different ways, and forcing all to adhere to a singular style has the potential of limiting 2/3 or more in any given class. Now, to put our learning into action and to walk us through on how the 21st century classroom works, there will be a hands-on activity to be facilitated by the Division's Information Technology Officer, Sir Avenir Mendoza.
Hello po, mga PSS. Guys, brother po sa mga EPS and PSDS, SDO and CADG po. Okay. Ilagay ko lang po yung laptop. Yes po. Okay. Before I begin to discuss the actually tinitingnan po sila as learning resources po yung mga nakikita niyo dyan po kasi yun po yung mga bagay na pinagkukuha din natin ng information and knowledge. Lagi ko po minsan tinitingnan din madalas yung mismo vision mission, saka po yung definite vision, no? Kung makikita po natin dito sa vision, kung memorize po natin, to protect and promote the right of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and free basic education where students learn in child-friendly, gender-sensitive, safe, and motivating environment. Another thing po, teachers facilitate learning and constantly nurture every learner. And then, administrators and staff, as stewards of the institution, ensure an enabling and supportive environment and effective learning to happen. Okay? So, yung po mga part na yun, no, tinitingnan ko siya na isa sa mga pinaka angkla po natin kung bakit po tayo nagkaroon ng ganito 21st century classroom. Okay? Doon po sa mga nakikita niyo dyan, yan po yung mga diniscuss din po kanina ni Ma'am, ay pahapyaw po na pinakita ni Ma'am Emily kanina, no? Yung po mga materials na ginagamit po ng mga or equipment ng mga bata. Sa atin po, sa 21st century classroom po natin, present lang. Yan. Ano po yung mga bagay-bagay na meron po tayo dito sa ating 21st century within our division of ASCP? Meron po tayong interactive computers or usually sa mga ibang universities, meron po sila tinatawag ng MacLab. So, tayo, meron din po tayong MacLab. Bakit po tinawag na MacLab? Kasi po, yung mga operating systems po ng mga computer na yan is yung Apple Macintosh po, ang operating systems. Di po tulad ng ginagamit natin na madalas, which is the Windows based. So, it is a different environment po. Okay? Meron din po tayong 3D printing, yung po sa likod. Meron po tayong machine na for 3D printing. Meron din po tayong mga drones, mga maliliit na drones, which is ngayon madalas nagagamit na po natin ngayon, no? Sa education. And then meron din po tayong augmented reality. So meron po, kung makapasin nyo sa table ninyo, meron po kayong mga cellphones and tablets na pwede po natin gamitin for the hands-on activity for the augmented reality. And then meron din po virtual reality. Meron po tayo dyan na yung VR box, tinatawag nila, no? Yung kung isinusuot. Yan po. And then meron po tayong interactive projector. It is not only just a projector, but it is an interactive. So, pwede po tayo makipag-interact mismo doon sa nasa naka-display. Okay? And then meron din po tayong document camera. Ito po yun. Usually, ginagamit lang po natin for to present the documents for virtual back. Pero ngayon po, maximize na po namin. So yung pong back natin, 21st century na po natin. And then, meron din po tayo yung tinatawag na Internet of Things. It is a topic na po yan, pero mamaya po i-discuss din po. So, isang-isahin po muna natin to bago po tayo mag-hands-on activity. Okay? So, interactive computer lab. Why map? Consistently, nilagay ko po ito why map, yung pong nakalagay dito. Bakit po? Consistently consistent. So yung pong OSX, meaning yung pong operating system niya is logical minimalist interface, simply involves fewer things that must be learned and relearned. Katulad po na sinabi ni Man-ANC kanina, no? May learn and relearn. Apple messes less with in new releases such as Leopard. Yung po Leopard, yung po yung kunyari sa Windows, yung Windows 10, Windows 8, yan, operating. And the bottom line is, it is easier to get stuff done. Pero, alam ko po, very few ang gumagamit po ng Mac dito. Ang napapansin ko lang po dito si Sir Walter. Siya po ay mayroong MacBook. Yes po. Medyo mahal, may kamahalan na lang po yung costly. Yung costly po siya. And next is the joy of predictability. Apple is the only company in the business that writes its own operating system and designs its own hardware. Unlike for the Windows, meron po yan may partner siya. May Intel, meron po AMD, ano po. Pero po yung hardware niyan, I mean yung mga source code po niyan, si Apple lang po talaga gumagawa nila. Okay, so wala po iba parang third party yun. And then, who needs security headaches? A Mac owner who uses no security software at all runs less risk of being infected by spyware or a virus than a Windows user who obsessively protects his or her PC. Kung mapapansin po ninyo, napaka-minimal po yan or parang wala pa akong nakita na virus or nothing security breach when it comes to the Mac. Okay? And then prove or lack thereof, means you create, read, and delete, you will prove, max you utterly free of such junk. You can tamper with your own OS. Kasi po, may sarili po nila yan. Okay? Tapos, yung details po, kung titignan po ninyo, hindi po siya bulky, no? Napakaliit po ng yung mismong hardware, yung system unit niya, no? Yung ganyan po sophisticated din po yun. Apple is one of the world's best software companies. So applications are useful, enjoyable, and innovative. Apple does its best work on its own operating system and hardware. So talaga po tinututukan po din ang software nila at hardware. And then lastly, kung bakit po meron tayo ganyan, is to have a new environment to learn and experience. Me, myself po, kasi sinabi ko na mas maganda po na magkaroon tayo ng Mac. Kasi po katulad po nung nabanggit kanina, hindi lang po sa school, and even in the workplace. Baka po possible na yung mga students natin is baka encounter sila in the industry na meron pong environment ng computer sa kanila. So, hindi po sila masyadong aware. And me, myself, hindi po ako talaga masyadong gumagamit ng Mac. Si Sir Noel po yan, madalas po Mac. Lahat po, cellphone, Mac, laptop, naka-Mac po yan. Kasi mayaman po siya. Mayaman po. Yun po. Yun po yung tinitingnan ko din na if ever po yung mga bata is na-expose sa industry at makahawak po sila ng Mac, at least marunong po sila. Yes. Yung environment po ng mga applications and programs. Okay? So, yan po. And then, additional po, yung po makikita rin yung screen dyan, they are touchscreen. So, they are interactive. So, Sir John, pakitry na lang po ng i-on na interactive po yung mga yan eh. So, pwede po kayo magdudut-dut dyan. So, kahit na po wala po keyboard and mouse. And then, yung mga keyboard and mouse, they are wireless. Okay? Ang disadvantage lang po, madaling i-voice. Pag-ibig po, kasi wireless. So, wireless po yan. So, parang pwede na rin po gawin po present. Kung nagpe-present ka, nandiyan yung pwede ko kayo. Katulad mo lang. Make lang po. Okay? Medyo, hindi ko na po kananda, siguro nasa mga 8 to 10,000 po yung mouse. Yan po. Hindi po yung touchscreen po yan. So, para po hindi yan. Yung password niya, ma'am, kung ano po yung pangalan niya. Kunyari, ma'am 07, ma'am 07. So, yan po attachment. Supposedly po, ang mga content yan is from the, meron po dapat din ng mga VOST courseware, yung nabanggit po kanina. But, tinanggal muna po nila dahil nag-update pa po doon sa interaction ng mga courseware. Okay? Asensya na po yung medyo sa bandang likod, wala pa po kasi next po is 3D printing technology. Okay? 3D printing is becoming an important matter for education. The idea to implement this novel technique is allowing classroom students to develop new engineering talents while leveraging their overall knowledge, creativity, and design. So it brings ideas to life with 3D printing. 3D printing is interesting. 3D printing is a whole experimental phase. 3D printing in education follows the path of creation. So yung pong 3D printing, it makes something na ma-realize po natin. Hindi lang po natin siya basta nakikita sa screen, pag po pwede tayo mag-design, and then we can create. Usually po yung mga students po natin sa Manila City Science High School, meron sabi po ni Ma'am Chetel po sila, 3D printing, they use it for the robotics. Okay. So pwede po kayo tayo gumawa ng model, for example, a skull, pwede po mag-print ng 3D. Wala lang po tayo yung filament, yung pong parang balak po niya para po makapag-create ng 3D. So, napaka-engaging po kapag po yung mismo bata is mag-design ng mga model po yun. So, yun po, meron din po tayo ng 3D printing. So, 3D printing technology, to name few references, ito po yung mga tinagat po ng gagamitan. Biology students can study cross-sections of a part. So, pwede po sila mag-print ng cross-section po ng isang art. So, hindi lang po nila basta nakikita sa as a two-dimensional, one-dimensional picture na po siya. Chemistry students can print out complex molecules through study. And then, engineering students can print a modified part of a robot parts, tulad po ng ginagawa sa school. And then, geography students can print out topography, maps, calculation, specific demographics sa one area. Pwede po yung graphic design, prototypes. Sa food technology po, no, can design molds for ices and gelatins. Tapos po, history, can print artifacts for closer examination. So, at least nakikita po natin na actual siya. And then, architectural students can bring new or existing designs. Architecture, engineering, pwede po nila gawin yung parang real-life scenario na mag-build po sila ng bridges, and then, auto class students can bring replacement of modified car parts. Yung pong iba, ganyan yung ginagawa nila. Pag po may nabali ang parts ng mga equipment nila, ginagawa po nila ng 3D print, tapos yun po yung pinag-replace nila. So, in English classes, students can print characters, tools, and other items. Art students can create sculptures, stands, frames, etc. And then, robotic students can design parts of custom devices. Yan po yung power po ng 3D printing. Next po, yung drone. Okay, so meron din po tayong drone, pero yung po drone natin, medyo murahin lang po for the purpose po ng demo po tayo, no? So a drone is an unmanned aircraft. Drones are more formally known as unmanned aerial vehicles or unmanned aircraft systems. Kung matatandaan po ninyo, yung drone, bumili po yung ASIG, di ba? Kung nabalitaan po yun, no? Yung drone ginamit po nila for pag-spray, pag-disinfect po ng mga area nila. No? So, yun po. Yung unmanned aerial vehicles were most often associated with the military, So alam po natin ngayon na yan, madalas po sa military po talaga nila ginagamit yung mga drones. Pero ngayon, pwede po natin magamit yung drones for education. So, yung drone, yan po, search and rescue, surveillance, traffic monitoring, weather monitoring, firefighting, personal use, drone-based photography, videography, agriculture, and delivery services. Okay? Yes, halimbawa po yung mga maliliit na drones na yan, meron din po tayo yung malalaki na drones. Yung po usually na ginagamit natin for pag po na-shoot tayo sa mga events, o kaya po pictures, yan po, nagagamit po natin yan. And then yung pag-install, nanghihirap po sila, ginagamit po yata nila doon sa pag-record ng dalawa Pilipinas.
Sino naging meron siya schedule eh, tsaka si...
Yes, si engineer po sa disaster, relief disaster. Opo, yung meron po sila, si engineer po, opo, for the site inspection, for the area review. Yes po, nagagamit po nila yan. So how can drones be integrated into your educational program? The digitalization of students according to new technology is increasing on the rise. Everything from smartphones on smartphones, tablets, headsets, VR glasses, and stuff like that. But what is not yet so developed among students are drones that are slowly conquering the world with their popularity. So, dati po, wala po tayo mga ganyan-ganyan. Gumagamit pa po muna tayo ng mga boom. Yung mga boom na para po pag nag-shooting, tinataas pa po nila para lang makakuha ng aerial view. No? So, kaya minsan, gumagamit pa po sila ng helicopter para lang po makapag-shoot. Drones are used almost everywhere today. From taking aerial photographs, agriculture, katulad po nung kanina. So what drones can give children at school is a whole new dimension of opportunities with whom they could develop a very great interest. Usually po, pwede po din nang gamitin yung drone ng mga students to capture things or to observe things that they cannot reach. For example, kung gano'n pa yung mga caves, pwede ipapasokan natin ang mga drobian, yung kaya yung mga high land na pwede po sila mag-observe. So drone education, using drones to develop creativity. So katulad po niya, no? Nag-picture po yung mga bata na nag-shape po na sila ng isang parang ibon, no? But the way the drone can be operated as part of the school curriculum is to take the children outside and use it in an open environment, record and take pictures, and later transfer it to computer and present it in some creative way. So, creativity po. Drone education, learning and applying math with the help of drones. So, pwede po sila try to calculate some factors such as how much time a drone can spend in the air, how far it can travel, so yung pwede po yung speed niya, and then how much load it can carry. So pwede po yan sa physics. Tapos po, development of motor skills with the help of drones. One of the very important things that can improve with the help of drones are coordination and motor skills in children. These skills are important because they affect things such as balance, reading, movement, memory, and other motor skills which are related to a child's development. Pag po naka-experience kayo na mag-drive ng drones, talaga po yung eye and hand coordination ninyo matitest po talaga. Minsan, hindi yung ibang mga expert, tumitingin na lang sila doon sa camera. Pero po yung mga ibang, talaga, tinitingnan na muna nila yung drones kung saan pumupunta. Yung po hand coordination nila dapat po, yun yung motor skills po. No? Napapracticing lang po ng pag-drive. Pag po, nag-drive na sasakyan, yung motor skills niya, dahil sanay na sanay ka na, alam mo na yung susunod na bago. Tapos po, not only drones are great choice, except sport of course, they also make driving out into open, thus replacing TVs. In addition, during the physical education, teachers can record children for the purpose of analyzing sports, activities, and they can correct them in the things they need to improve those same activities. Yan, katulad po nung Hello Pilipinas, no? Pwede po nilang makita yung sino yung, kasi po pag kukunin po sa isang still camera na nakaharap siya, yun lang kung makaharapin nakikita ninyo, yung mga nasa likod, hindi mo makikita kung yung coordination nila, kung tama po ba. Yan, katulad. So, yung drone din po sa teaching science with the help of drones. With the help of drone, science can become quite interesting and creative as you can demonstrate some aspects to students to better understand the things around them. The law of physics can be applied in every aspect with the help of drones, thus giving them different tasks that students need to solve. So, maganda po yung mga teachers natin matutong gumamit ng lahat. Next po is the augmented reality. Okay? Kung po alam niyo yung Pokemon, ano po yun? Meron po naging parang viral or na games na augmented reality. The best example po ng augmented reality is the Pokemon Go, no? Yan po. Kahit kung gamit po yung mobile device niyo, naghahanap po kayo ng mga Pokemon. So, yan po, may mga tao na nadalo po dyan sa games. So, augmented reality is an enhanced version of the real physical world that is achieved through the use of digital visual elements, sound, or other sensory stimuli delivered via technology. It is a growing trend among companies involved in mobile computing and business applications in particular. So, ano na lang po, dahil po kayo ay nasa business, kayo po ang expert when it comes to curriculum and pag-deliver po ng lessons. Kayo po mismo malalaman ninyo how to use or how to apply this technology to your classroom. Marami po pwede pagkamitan yung application ng Google. So nowadays, 20% of young people own smartphones. Most of them are active smartphone users that use these gadgets to access social platforms, play games, and to be in connection with friends and relatives. Much lesser part of young adults use it for studying purposes to do homework, deep information about a subject. And then the potential of combining smartphones and augmented reality for education is very big po talaga. Though it still has to be fully discovered, AR in various ways could grant students extra digital information. Yun po yung sinasabi ko, kailangan po natin makita yung mismong power po ng mismong augmented reality para po ma-deliver natin mabuti yung lessons natin. Next po, the augmented reality, benefits of augmented reality, immersiveness, visualization, engagement. So, meron din engagement, self-training, at saka po collaboration. Yan po, katulad niyan, yung augmented reality, chine-check lang, instead na nasa book lang po siya, pag ginamit mo po ng mobile devices, para po siya nag-3D yung isang object. Next is the virtual reality. So, VR is a simulated experience that can be similar to or complex, completely different from the real world. Applications of virtual reality include entertainment, particularly video games, education such as medical or military training, and business such as virtual meetings. Other distinct types of VR style technology include augmented reality and mixed reality. So, meron pong tinatawag na augmented reality, meron din pong tinatawag na virtual reality, but if you mix them both, meron po tinatawag na mixed reality. Yun po yung, hindi mo lang po siya nakikita, hindi mo lang po siya yung nabibview, parang namamimilibret mo rin po yung ano. Kung makikita niyo sa mga pelikula, yung gumagano'n-gano'n sila, yan po, mga mixed reality na po yun. Na namamanipulate po na nila yung mga augmented reality na nakikita po nila using their hand gestures. Yun po, tulad din po ng mga games na nakikipag-boxing ka, kung nakita na po ninyo yun. So, pwede mo labanan si Manny Pacquiao na nakikita mo siya sa paharap mo siya as in augmented reality or virtual reality. And then, pwede mo rin siyang suntukin. Yun po yun, mixed reality. So VR in education, the virtual reality is being more and more used in education, enabling the students to find out, to explore, and to build his own knowledge. This paper represents us educational software for presence of distance education. Actually, meron po akong nare-recall na project po dati ng isang teacher natin. It is a virtual tour po dito sa Angeles City. Meron po siyang plano na i-capture niya po yung 3D no simbahan, yung lugar po sa Angeles, yung mga sikat po na lugar, and then they will put it in the virtual reality. Meron po akong, hindi po ako nag-honor si Ma'am Maricon Rivera, Ma'am, no? Opo. Parang yung sa, ang pinaka-ano niya, yung tinatarget niya yung subject po ng education, meron po yun, tulad ng virtual field trips. So, pwede po natin gumamit ng virtual reality. And then, pwede po na makita natin na nandun tayo sa mismong pyramid of Giza. So, we can look around dun sa pyramid of Giza. Meron din po yung art education, tutoring, a virtual lab environment, saka po yung teaching, STEM. Next is the last one, yung Internet of Things. So ano po yung Internet of Things? The Internet of Things describes physical objects or groups of such objects with sensors, processing ability, software, and other technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the Internet or other communications network. Okay? Dati po, meron sa Aksay po, meron po sila, alam ko, meron po sila deliver po ng Internet of Things. Yung po Internet of Things is through internet, makakontrol mo po yung isang mga device or object. O kaya po pwede. Apo, yes. Si Siri, yeah. Tsaka po si Google. Si Alexa. Okay. I will just, bago po tayo mag-answer mamaya, bigyan ko na rin po kayo ng example ng Internet of Things. Okay? Meron po kasi akong ginawa dito sa ating 21st century classroom na I can manipulate some appliance in this room. For example, I can turn on the bulb using my phone. And then I can change it color to green. So using my cell phone, I can control the bulb. And then, pwede rin po yan, yung tinatawag ni Ma'am. Though kahit na naka-Microsoft po ako, pwede ko po rin siyang i-control using a voice command. Okay? Yan po, tignan ko lang po kung maintindihan ako ni Google, no? Baka po kasi hindi ako maintindihan, hindi siya sumunod sa akin. Okay? Try mo natin. Hey Google, turn off bulb. Hey Google, Hey Google. Hindi ako narinig ni Google. Hey Google, turn on bulb. Hey Google. Hindi pa siya nagpo-process. Hey Google, turn on bulb red. Yan po yung tinatawag nila sila part of Internet of Things. So, for example, kung gusto niyo maging automate yung bahay, then po rin yung i-automate. And then yung sa akin, sabi ko po sa wife ko, kasi minsan nagtitipid kami ng kuryente, no? Yung sa aircon, pag natutulog, no? So, medyo tamad ka na tumayo para sigyan mo na ng electric fan. So, pwede mo gamitin sa home mo, i-on and off mo na lang yung electric fan. Or kaya, pwede mong gawin na voice command. Kaso nga lang, baka kala ng kapitbahay noise, natutulog kayo gising. Okay? Hey Google, turn on bulb white. So, hindi ko maintindihan yung sinasabi ko kasi sinasabi. Okay? Hey Google, again. Hey Google, turn on bulb white. Yeah. So, yun pa lang po. Yung voice command na to, pwede rin po kasi tumitin yung mga ibang tao. So, pwede po kayo, kahit na kasi marinig pa kayo ni Google, na i-command niyo na turn on, mag-turn on bago, mag-turn on. At saka po, ang kagandahan dito sa Internet of Things is, you can control it everywhere. So, kunwari meron po akong ilaw sa bahay na nakakonect sa internet, and then, umalis ako ng bahay, ginagya ko, so, I can turn on the light sa house. Yun po yung power po ng Internet of Things. Okay? So, pwede po tayo mag-hands-on yan using the augmented and the virtual reality. Pero, doon po kasi sa mga cellphone, medyo mabagal po kasi talaga siya. Yan po yung nabigay based doon sa specification. Yes po, John will assist you po, no, using the device. But I can demo din po. Actually, meron pa po pala ako. Kalimutan ko. I-demo ko pa po pala yung interactive projector and the document camera. Okay? Ano po yung namatay yata yung projector. Turn on projector. Yan, yun na po. Okay ko na po siya. At least hindi ko na po binubunod yung yung nakasaksak, automatic. So, ano mo muna pala, i-discuss ko po, i-present ko lang po sa inyo yung interactive project na nagtatapos. Okay. Ano po capacity or ano po pwedeng magawa ng ating interactive camera? So, una-una, kaya po na interactive yung camera natin, kaya po tayo makipag-interact mismo dito sa projector. Okay? I have two pens here for the teacher and for the students. Okay? For example po, nagtuturo ako, and then I can discuss po, no, bitawag na lang po muna yung mga parang I can annotate po dito sa isang slide. So, pwede po ako magsulat. Okay? Though alam na po natin yung mismo pinaka-function ng interactive note, pwede po tayo makapag-annotate. So meron po mga tools here. We can also do the highlighting. Okay? And then, pwede po natin buray lang yung mga sulat. So, kunyari, ito po, pinapasize natin. So, interactive po talaga siya. And then, pwede po tayo i-gawin, i-control yung mismo backpack natin. So, for example, duplicating ko lang po. I will just switch to this from the annotation ng projector na po. Pwede tayo simulan. Pwede po tayo gawing mouse, itong pen. And then switch para po makontrol natin yung mismo data. And then, pwede po tayo makakontrol ng so, pwede po tayo gamitin yung pen using this. So, pwede po tayo meron po tayo mga functions no, na kunyari, pwede po tayo gumamit ng Microsoft Paint para makapagsulat at makapag-annotate. And then, we can use also this yung pong document camera. No? Para po mas maganda yung tag yung document camera at saka po yung interactive.
Meron din interactive. Dapat pala yung assistant siya.
And then po, yeah, for example, nag-discuss ng mga Yan po, example lang po yan, no? When you want to discuss the parts of the leaves. Tapos po, we have a multiple source of video, no? So, pwede ko po nasabayan dito na, for example, papanoorin ko sila ng YouTube. Tapos yung sabayan po natin parts of the leaf. Yan. So, pwede po yan nag-video. And then we can do also the focus po ng mismo. Sample po yan. Yan, focus po. And then we can, ano po, pwede po tayong mag-annotate dito. Tapos po, for example, pwede tayo. Tapos po, ano po yan. So, sabayan po, kung nanonood sila, pwede po kayo mag-discuss dito. And another thing po na pwede po gawin dito is yung, we can connect a device. For example, my cell phone. Sample lang pala po, no? Yan, at least, habang nag-discuss kayo, meron din po na video na nakikita rin. So, we can put a multiple source po, no? And then, ang kagandahan din po ng projector na to is you can use the application called the eye projection. And then, I can connect my phone. And then, kung po nakapag-connect na ako, I can mirror my device. So, kunwari tablet po ito. So, I can change the source. Start broadcast ko ng phone ko. Yan. So, I can display kung ano po yung sa cellphone or kung may tablet po ako. Pwede po ako, so nakaka-connect po siya. Kung yung pong bata, pwede po siyang mag-connect using his or her device. At kung gusto niyo po siyang mag-present, i-display po niya yung pagkaraming output po siya, kaya po siya, pwede po niya i-present dito. Dahil po yung device na to, at ang aking cellphone they are connected with the network. Yun po yung functionality po na agad nakakita sa interactive project. So, pwede po na yung mga materials niyo nandito po sa tablet. So, makakapag-discuss po yung mismo bata at makakapag-present siya ng sarili. Yan po yung maganda. And then, possible din po na we can present other output sa mismong TV ko. So, pwede rin po natin siya display sa TV para po mas clear po talaga yung project. Okay? So, basically, yan po yung mga functionality po ng interactive projector at saka po ng document camera. Maraming pa rin po siya mga application na pwedeng gamitin para po ma-maximize po yung mga device na yun. So, meron po kaming nabigyan na interactive projector. Yung pong Manila City Science na yata yung hindi ko na, check ko na lang po yung iba yung natatanda ko yung Manila City Science. Nabigyan ko natin sila. Okay? So, if you want to try the augmented reality, gamitin po natin yung mismong tablet. Pakiwan na lang po yung tablet. And then, I will do some, ano po dito, gamitin ko yung isang device ko. Para po maipakita ko din yung ibang ano. And then, you open the application na Animal 4D Plus. Naka-install po dyan. Animal 4D Plus. Yes po. Yes po. And then, kung meron po kayo, nakikita niyo dyan yung mga image, yung mga naka-print, itapat lang po ninyo dyan para po lumabas yung mismo mga animals.
Kailangan na yun ang collection.
Hindi.
Hindi daw. Hindi collection mo.
Reference sa akin.
Yun, lumagan mo siya, mamo.
Diyan na sa small na rin kami. I-switch ko lang po.
Emergency call.
Yeah. For example po ito, augmented reality po yan. So, parang nandiyan po yung Earth. Dito po, hindi na siya nakakailangan ng mga images. Try niyo po yung mga may image dyan na may bee at saka flower. Pupunta po yung bee dun sa right. Sige, try ko po din dito yung ano. Yung animal 4D. Yeah, katulad po niyan, no? Okay, lumalabas na siya. Yan, pinupuntahan ko yung yung flower. Ganito yung power of augmented reality. So, mayroon po marami pong mga resources sa online, sa mga Google Store, Play Store, and Apple, na mga virtual reality, mga augmented reality ang dito. Avoid ka po. Lahat siya po po. Nakakalatalog siguro. Yeah. Sa screen po ninyo nakikita. Yeah. Ayun yung mga Yeah. Ayun nga, nandun po sa screen.
Okay, gawa ng application din
May tanong ano yung 40? It's not yan po ito. Nagawa ko kasi. Tapos, if you want to try the virtual reality, subukan na lang po natin sa YouTube. Punta po kayo sa YouTube. And then, type lang po yung VR. Magpapalitaw po sila ng mga videos for the VR. And then, insert lang po ninyo yung cellphone ninyo sa VR box para po ma-experience nyo. Yun ba niyo ako po? Pwede na lang. Meron din po na solar system, pwede po siya. Meron po mga solar system. Hindi na po natin And then for demonstration po, yan po. Pwede po rin natin na VR 360. So, using your cell phone. Stick lang po natin. Patry po natin yung virtual reality. Yeah. Yan po yung makikita. Ang VR master. Parang kung nakasakay ko yung experience ko po ito ng Doon po nung one time, pinatry ko po sa anak ko, nahulog po siya sa upuan kasi kasi nahulog pa siya. Nahulog po siya. Yes. Meron din po yan ng virtual tour pag po nasa sa Jerusalem, para nag-tour sa Pilipinas. So, yun po yung for yung mga learning resources ko natin. Next po na mag-present is Starbucks. It will be presented by Sir Dennis.
Ayun po, nag-enjoy po talaga ang ating mga participants. Thank you, Sir Nate, for allowing our participants to become students and to discover challenges without hesitation. So, indeed, practice makes perfect. So, following the very exciting topic of Sir Nate, we shall now have the division librarian, Sir Dennis Bautista, for the walkthrough on the utilization of Starbucks.
Ano po? Ano po, ma'am? Mayroon din ako sa Naiintindihan tayo kasi gumagalaw ng mga asphalt. So when we are preparing for yung Starbucks, I will give an introduction regarding policies of Starbucks. So Starbucks means science and technology, academic research based, openly operated kiosks. So ayan, nakikita na po ninyo. So dito pa ako. This is the Starbucks. It has hundreds thousands of digitized science, technology, engineering, and math resources. It comes from different formats like text, audios, and videos. It contains variety of information from different branches of knowledge. It has investigator reports, journals, and other articles that can give a user a different knowledge. It has reference materials also. The purpose of Starbucks is to create interest in the field of science and technology. Second is to encourage great and curious minds to develop invention and innovation. Third, to inspire one's capacity for entrepreneurship, socio-economic development. So, this purpose of Starbucks is very, it is very time. Very time po sila sa ating situation. As one country, we need to focus ourselves in learning from different sciences and technologies in order to promote our invention to other countries and to our own country also. Gusto po ng Starbucks to magkaroon sila ng mga Filipino individual na very capacity in innovation and inventor. So kung naalala po ninyo, marami po tayong mga Filipino scientists. So gusto ng Starbucks on UST na magkaroon tayo ng produce na Filipino, very self-worth and self-reliance. Since yung third niyang purpose is to inspire one's capacity for entrepreneurship. So marami po tayo dito mga content for livelihood videos. Okay. I will show you po yung content po ng videos that here Starbucks. Since online po ako dito, as you see po sa dashboard, meron po different resources. So pupunta po tayo dito sa upper part ng left corner, makikita po ninyo itong mga topics. So, we can see we have a different field of studies. So, pag click mo doon, you can find another subtopics about agriculture. Ang nakikita ko lang dito, since parang may kulang, parang kailangan ng dividend ng classification number in order to nakaka-categorize sila according to main division or subdivision po ng 10 main classes of knowledge. So, yun na po ang nagiging nakikita kong parang may kulang. Pero as of this, for improvement naman po siguro ng DOST, very particular na po ito na makikita po ng user kung ano po hinahanap nila.
Buksan mo nga sir na.
Okay. Let's see yung agriculture. Example, you need to find, want to find this one.
Gusto mo na naman niya ng inspiration?
Ako, video na. Di ba ng English?
Sample na.
Yan po. Mga video lessons po yan.
About the science.
So, makikita po ninyo ito kung ano ba yung ginagawa. So, ang Starbucks po is very limited lang po siya. Read only yung mga files niya. Hindi po siya pwedeng download. So, you can only see, kumbaga, you can access this. Free siya, pero ganyan lang siya.
Research siya, examples.
Example, you want to find some, ayan, juice. So, ano mas gusto mong mahanap yung paggawa ng juices para different kinds of juice. Baba, patuloy na, papaya. You like to click it.
Hindi OST yun yan. Science.
Ayan po. So, this one can only print. So, hindi po siya pwedeng download.
Read only.
Print only.
Pwede i-print?
Sir, pwede daw i-print.
Pwede po.
Pwede po.
Pwede.
So, as of this, ano po, presentation, yan po ang nakikita natin.
Page 1 lang yan, wala na.
Meron po. Baka page 1 lang po ang
Page
na
1 to 13 na.
Sir, pwede gamitin, like for example, reading text. Gamitin.
pwede po. Pwede po.
Sir, ba't wala kaya sa agriculture set?
Opo, agriculture kasi lang gusto niya.
Diyan po po.
Wala naman.
Wala kaya.
Wala pa mga magkasaya na Marias in 1 month.
Yun ang nagkasara ng bigas.
Para maging 20 pesos ang bigas.
Research, no?
Wala
Kailangan po.
naman.
So ito po ay mga locally and globally digitized resources po. As you see po, meron po tayong K-12, meron po. So available po sila. Pero mabagal po kasi ito eh, kaya sinagawa namin.
Isa lang sa
Pero yan nabibili na istorya sa mga schools, di ba, no?
lahat po ng resources na dito lang po sa mismo system. So,
Sabi niya kasi ito na ng school.
alam mo po ba?
Free ako.
Apo.
Kundi meron may bayan. Ginawa namin yan sa ICT.
Baka po ba yung hardware yung pinapabayad?
So yun lang po. Of course, if you want to access these resources, you must create account. So, free access po, pero you must create an account. So, sample po. Sino gusto mong mag-create ng account? Ayan po yung information. Okay na po? So, I will be the one to, ako po yung mag-a-admin po rito sa Starbucks. And then, kailangan po nyo lang ng so, para po ma-access. Sorry? Actually, pwede naman po ito offline. Pwede sa offline. Basta with the basta yung route server sa router. Pwede po siya so, yun lang po. So, I hope na meron kayong idea about Starbucks.
Dennis pa lang pwede offline.
Akala
ko pwede siya offline.
Pwede po, pwede na po. Within the...
Tapos sir, ito, sabi, Sir Dennis, sabi sunod daw, magko-connect kami na connect naman. Magko-connect kami na masa Sir Dennis, babasa namin.
Yun lang po. Pwede na dito.
Makaregister.
Thank you po.
Pero very good si Sir, gagawin doon yung decimal system.
Tama naman kasi.
Arrange na lang sa kanya tayo.
Yes, sir.
Kasi tama
yung
kasi dapat meron po talaga. That is subject headings po kasi.
magaling yun.
Additional lang po din sa ano. Ito po yung offline version. So, ito pong server is nakakonect sa network na natin. Kahit po walang internet, ma-access po natin yung resources dahil nandito lang po. And then yung pong mga computer na yan, nakakonect din po sila sa same network. So, ang itatype lang po dito is yung ito po 192.168 medyo malabo 192.2 something po /Starbucks using the browser. So yan lang po, and then mag-open na po dyan yung Starbucks. So makapag-access po kayo offline. And then meron din po sila ng online, yung pong starbucks.ph po. Yun yung online version naman po ng Starbucks. So yan po, kahit na po naka-cellphone kayo or tablet, basta po nakakonect kayo sa Wi-Fi ng library hub, tapos i-type lang po ninyo yung link na yon, slash Starbucks, yung IP address ko, tawag yung IP address, slash Starbucks, pwede na po kayo maka-access ng resources. It is, ang maganda din po kasi kung ang eskwelahan is, kunyari meron po Starbucks, no? Meron po silang server. And then, kung po yung Wi-Fi, one network lang po, no? Anywhere, pwede po sila mag-access doon sa Starbucks. Basta po may abot po ng Wi-Fi connection yung eskwelahan po nila. Actually, nagre-request po yung DOST kung if ever pwede po lagyan lahat ng Starbucks yung eskwelahan po ng ang NSCP. Sabi ko, pwede naman po, ang idea ko lang po mga is if ever we can request for the hardware or yung po hardware, kaya bibili po tayo ng mga server galing sa SEP and then papadala po lahat ng mga unit sa DOST. Lulugan po ng, yes po, pupunduhan po ng SEP yung po mga server and then,
Happening library data na
yes po, digital library po ng mga
Kaya lang ang yun, dun lang sa within the school lang.
Yes po.
Hindi katulad sa mga ABM din lang po, Hollywood na EBSCO host na kahit nasa bahay ka, din pa rin, no?
Opo. Though meron po naman po siyang online version ng Starbucks. Kahit na nasa bahay po kayo, pwede po kayo.
Oo, maganda yun.
Yes po. Opo.
Pushing mo yun sila.
So, yun po. Basta po naka-network po yung eskwelahan nila, pati po yung Starbucks, makakapag-access po sila ng resources.
Kahit nasa bahay.
Hindi, yun sa school lang po muna po.
Pero pwede rin sa bahay eventually.
Yes po, pwede po, pwede po. Ang mas maganda nga po sana kung makapag-contribute po tayo sa mismo DOST, yung mga learning resources natin, para maka-upload din po. Kasi nabanggit po nila na kung meron po mga developed na localized materials, pwede po natin mag-contribute sa mismong DOST para po mag-isama nila doon sa resources po ng Starbucks. Ganun po siya. So, maganda po sana kung yun na, meron po kanya-kanyang Starbucks. Though, meron na po na Starbucks yung ibang mga, yun nga po, ako meron na po. Alam ko yung trade, ano na po yan, yung Aksay, yan po yung e-library nila. So, i-update na lang po siguro yung sa kanila. Ito po kasi, updated na po itong version ng Starbucks na. So, yun po, tapos may mga nadagdagan, katulad po sa COVID-19, meron na po yung mga content. And then yun po, additional yung sa library hood. Ewan ko parang nakita ko yata yung mga Deco 7, kung nalala po yung mga video, meron po yata yan. Meron po yan, mga samples na video, paano gumawa ng banana view, mga gano'n, meron pang library. Marami po siya. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Sir Dennis. Sir Dennis, thank you. The utilization of Starbucks will surely benefit our school children. At this juncture, we shall now have the closing remarks by our clever and exceptional Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Fernandina P. And so, thank you so much for having me. Naging estudyante tayo, boss yan. So, yan. Iba ba talaga yung ginagawa natin, no? Ako hindi. Ano lang po, hindi ka, ano lang po. Pero ngayon po, nandun po sa kaibugetang mag-grad kami ngunit, kailang sumahin, dinakas kami, pero buti naman po, nakatakas kami kasi very enjoyable po. No? So, hindi kami tumakas, na-miss namin talaga itong excitement, no, dito yung fun. At least now that nakita lang natin po siya sa mga enchanted kingdom, di ba ma'am, that not the process. Pero ngayon nakita natin first hand na ganyan pala siya gumagat na nangyayari po, no, yan sa mga ating mga live na mga gadgets. Yan. So, ma'am, good afternoon po, boss, Madam Ai. Sir Chief, Sir Ed, and Sir Chief, Sir Mandy, and all our PSCSS, CPSS, ma'am, sa ating mga resource speakers, wow, no? Napakaganda po ng hapon na nangyari ito sa atin po, no? Yan. So, I would like to thank you po, mga resource speakers sa mga creative team. Sir Nate, thank you so much po, no? So, I would like to congratulate po, no? The proponents of this, so sabi nga po ni Ma'am, it was the brainchild of our former SES, Madam Lani, and the chief then of CID, and now it has come to its fruition, na nagdagdag na po siya ng fruit. Yan. So let me extend my deep gratitude to the proponent for this worthy project. Secondly, I would like to congratulate po, no, to extend my warmest congratulations for the launching of the 21st century. Yan, bomba po yung aking City. 21st century, yan, no, classroom, which will definitely catapult our delivery of knowledge to the highest, to the next level. Ayan, so tama-tama po yung sinusulat ko ito kanina sa the 21st century, no? You always hear the term since 130, the 21st century. But no, 21st century. But bibigyan ko po kayo ng meaning pala ng 21st century. Do you know that it is the present century of the Gregorian, no? Of the Gregorian calendar, which covers the period of January 1, 2001 to December 31, 2100. Oh, di ba bongga, no? May Starbucks kayanan din. This century is marked by rapid adoption of new technologies. So this is called the information age. Oh, no? So this information age is fueled by knowledge economy that, sabi niya, no, that values solving and critical thinking po, ma'am, over the route skills of the industrial era. Yan. So ladies and gentlemen, mga kapatiran po, no, the launching of this 21st century classroom is a manifestation of the drive of the Angeles Division, now headed by our very innovative and very supportive Madam Ai, no, to drive to continue po, no, and thank you po, boss, no. Ikapapalit na daw po ni Mami mga cherry mobile na dalawa yun natin eh, nasa yung brand new din. Yung pala ko boss, papalit lang. Oh, diba? Para talagang magiging akong Mac lab. No? So getting the equipment po, no, in this laboratory and this technology is just one part of the equation. Our teachers po, no, yan, no, marami gagawin po yung mga teachers po, no, are our weapon. Sabi nga po, no, are our weapon in the fight for quality education. The battle will be fought in the classrooms. Sabi nga po, no, it is in the classroom where the day-to-day learning happens. The battle is no longer about reading and writing. The 21st century is about analyzing, comprehending, and thinking analytically, just like what Madam said, the four, yung po mga four kanina, no? Critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, and life and career po, diba? So this 21st century classroom po, no, is a big step among the many steps that we will make. And I and Madam, no, and I heard it a while ago, we heard po from Sir, no, nung challenge niya po yung ating mga PSCSS. So, in behalf of I and Madam, I know, no, our boss will also challenge you, the PSCSS and their EPSS po, no, to what, no, to duplicate this po, no. Yan, they may not be a lab, Mac lab, pwede naman po talaga siyang Windows lab. Ano yan, no? So, and this, masaya ko po nga, di ba, ma'am, na kaya ako itang adapt, di ba? We are starting with the bawat bata nagmamaus, di ba? So we can we can reach po as many students as possible. Yan. We start from itong kay Sir Dennis na MacBook, that Starbucks. Starbucks, din tanong pag Starbucks o Starbucks. And so, we are challenging you, di ba po ma'am, no? PSCSS, you have seen this one. And we are very thankful po that come July 14, many teachers and our school heads will be here also po, no, to witness how this work. And thereby they could duplicate this po. Small steps, the one step at a time at this po, we have started it. So, yun lamang po, and congratulations, very good kayo, namin. And congratulations po sa ating lahat. Good afternoon po. Yeah. Sir, ala, ito na mag-glad.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rochenko, for that meaningful message. Leaving you with this quote by Ali ibn Abi Talib. There is no greater wealth than wisdom, no greater poverty than ignorance, no greater heritage than culture, and no greater support than consultation. This has been Mandy Bidaranya, your MC this afternoon, and that concludes our activity. Thank you.